Hello everyone, my name is Nihar and I'm making this video to show the findings and insights that I've got from analyzing the IPL data. The data is from 2008 to 2019 and there were 756 matches played within this period. And in this period, the IPL has been a roller coaster of thrilling moments and surprises. In the next few minutes, we'll navigate through this journey. I won't be going over the code, I'll just be explaining the findings and insights and the graphs. So let's jump straight to the graphs. So there were 13 teams participating and 40 unique venues. You can see the teams over here. And there are 40 unique venues where the IPL matches were playing. Let's have a look at how the distribution of these 756 games is and who played the most number of matches. You can see Mumbai Indians have played the highest number of matches, which could mean they are a successful team. They are followed by RCB, and the third highest team for matches played are Kolkata Knight Riders. Next, we have a plot for the total runs scored by each team and their average runs per game. Just have a look at the number of matches played by each team, which showed Mumbai Indians played the most number of matches. And they have certainly not disappointed their fans when it comes about scoring runs. When it's about scoring runs. Not only that, they're averaging a fascinating total of 159.39 runs per match. Having looked at the total number of runs from 2008 to 2019, let's dive into the total runs scored by each team season wise. So, in 2008, Rajasthan Royals scored the highest number of runs, summing up to 2,601. In 2019, it was Mumbai Indians who scored the highest runs, summing up to 2,781. So far, we have talked about runs. Now, let's talk about the team's bowling performance. Mumbai Indians again topping the chart here. This gives a positive signal that they are a successful team. They have a cumulative sum of 1,138 dismissals and averaging about 6 wickets every game. RCB, on the other hand, again are the closest to Mumbai Indians, giving a feeling of a fierce rivalry between them. As we did the total runs, let's now have a look at the sum of uh, wickets taken by each team season wise. In 2008, Rajasthan Royals dismissed 109 players and they also topped the total runs chart. This could be a strong indication of them winning the IPL in 2008. Whereas in 2019, was Chennai Super Kings and they have taken 111 wickets. Now let's shift our focus back to the runs, this time magnifying the performance of players. Here we're looking at the plot for the top 20 run scorers in IPL from 2008 to 2019. As we can see, Virat Kohli put the highest number of runs on the scoreboard, a total of 5,434, closely followed by Suresh Raina, who has scored 5,415 runs. As in Newton's third law states, every action has equal and opposite reactions. So to oppose the batsman's scoring, we have some equally brilliant bowlers, And here we have plotted the top bowlers that stopped the batsman from scoring a lot of runs. We can see Malinga from Mumbai Indians leads the wicket chart with 188 wickets, followed by Dwayne Bravo with 168 wickets. With the fantastic performances from these players, let's move on to the team performance again and compare the number of games won and the ratio of games won. Mumbai Indians dominating the top chart so far and have a few players in top 20 and wickets comparison. So it's no surprise to see them top the matches won comparison plot as well. They boast a great win ratio of 58% and only to be behind CSK, who have a win ratio of 61%. But CSK are the runners up when it comes to the number of matches won. They have won only 100 matches, whereas Mumbai have won 109 matches. Have you ever wondered if toss decisions matter or not? Well, here is the analysis that would let you decide if toss decisions actually have any effect on the result or not. The pie chart here represents the team preferred choice after winning the toss. As you can see, the teams prefer to field first, and of all the toss wins, teams elected to field first 61.2% of times, and teams selected to bat first only 38.8% of times. Next, let's compare if the decision to field or bat has any effect on the final outcome of the match. The pie chart here shows the comparison between the toss winner and match winner, and if not toss winner, or if toss winner and match lost. So if this one shows the teams that decide won the toss and won the match as well. Any other outcome is this. So 48% of the times are other outcomes apart from teams that won the toss and won the match. Now let's have a look at the win ratio for the toss decision. So between field and bat, we will compare which decision leads to more winning rate. Earlier, we saw that teams prefer to field first, and that was with a good margin. So let's see if there is any fusion to it. The bar graph you're looking at shows that teams that decided to field first won the match 56% of the times, whereas teams that chose to bat first won 46% of the times. Now, this could be about where the matches are being played. So, next, we will have a look at the venues and if teams prefer to field or bat first on particular venues. We can see most matches were played at M. Chinnaswamy Stadium with a count of 80 games. The bar graph you're looking at shows the venues on x-axis and on y the field and bat choices. So the lighter color, yellow one, shows that uh, how many times the teams decided to field first on the particular venue, whereas the orange one shows how many times teams decided to bat first. As you can see at M. Chinnaswamy Stadium, teams clearly prefer to field first, with teams fielding first for 89% of the times. And on M.A. Chidambaram Stadium, teams prefer to bat first rather than field, with a batting toss decision of 69%. Next, let's have a look at the graph that shows the venue-wise win ratio for teams deciding to field first. At M. Chinnaswamy Stadium, teams that decided to field first won 55% of the time. And at Eden Gardens, the teams that decided to field first won 63% of the time. At Holkar Cricket Stadium, teams won 88% of the time, but only 8 matches were played there. Similarly, if we look at the venues where teams decided to bat first, we can see that um, MA Chidambaram Stadium, teams that decided to bat first at MA Chidambaram Stadium won an impressive 62% of the time. That concludes the toss decision analysis, but there's a lot more to come. Let's move on to boundaries and analyze the players topping the charts for boundaries. First, let's look at the players who scored the most number of maximums or most number of sixes. Chris Gale scored a massive 327 sixes, totaling 1,962 runs from sixes alone. In the second place, for the top sixes, is AB de Villiers, who has 214 sixes and a sum of 1,284 runs from sixes. Chris Gale here leads by some outstanding numbers. Let's also look at who has the highest number of fours. We can see Shikhar Dhawan has the most number of fours, count of 526 fours to be precise, and summing up to 2,104 runs from fours. With the fours and sixes charts seen, let's have a look at who scored the most runs from boundaries. So this includes the fours and sixes both. No doubt here, it would be Chris Gale after the lead he had in the number of sixes, followed by Raina and Virat Kohli. So boundaries are an important part in the 2020 format, but equally important is to limit the runs and not let the batsman score runs. So let's look at the players with the highest number of dot balls. Topping the list for the highest number of dot balls is Harbhajan Singh with 1,244 dot balls, followed by Malinga. We can see a lot of spinners in the top half of this graph. So spinners seem to be delivering a lot of dot balls. Now let's have a look at the batsman who considered the most number of dot balls. As brilliant a player he is, Virat Kohli has considered the highest number of dot balls. This shows the quality of bowling in the IPL. Now let's compare the number of extra runs given by bowlers, focusing only on wides and no balls here. We're not focusing on leg byes or any other extras. So most number of extras were given by Malinga, with him delivering a total of 172 extra runs, followed by Praveen Kumar, who gave 145 extra runs. Next, let's have a look at the extra given by a team from 2008 to 2019. This includes all extra runs and not only wides and no balls. Mumbai being on the positive side of the most of the analysis, they have appeared in a few negatives as well. Here we can see Mumbai Indians have given a total of 1,611 extra runs, which is more than any other team. This can well be the effect of them playing the most number of matches. Moving on to the distribution graph for runs, you can see that around 70,000 runs were scored from singles and around 65,000 from doubles and about 20,000 from boundaries. Knowing the distribution for runs, let's now have a look in which over most number of runs were scored. It seems like the 18th over has considered the highest number of runs, with bowling teams conceding 13,263 runs. With runs, we also need to know the over in which the wickets fall. From the graph, we can read that the highest number of wickets fall in the first over, and then the wickets count is gradually falling, which means as overs progress, the wickets falling are lower. Moving further to a very interesting part of the analysis, let's compare the runs and wickets graph in a span of 5 overs. Our aim is to know in which 5 overs most runs are scored, and likewise for wickets falling. So the most runs are being scored in the span of 14th to 19th over, with a sum of 63,888 runs, closely followed by 15th to 20th over and 13th to 18th over. As for wickets, most of the wickets fall in the first 5 overs, in which there are 47,226 dismissals, and then it keeps on decreasing gradually. Talking about so many wickets falling, let's compare the types of dismissals. There were 5,340 dismissals from catches, followed by a player being bowled 1,581 times. With catches being the most popular dismissal type, let's have a look at who has the highest number of catches. So we can see Dinesh Karthik, SK Raina, and MS Dhoni top the list for highest number of catches. However, we can say that there is an advantage for them as they field as a wicket keeper. So we can give a special mention to AB de Villiers, who has 93 catches. Here, I would like to mention AB de Villiers could be used by energy drink brands for promoting their brand. There are more player recommendations at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Moving further, let's compare the teams and their winning margin from total from 2008 to 2019. When the talk is about runs, you must have guessed Mumbai Indians will be the top, and you were right. They have won by a margin of 1,866 runs since 2008 till 2019. While Kolkata Knight Riders here have the lead when we are talking about how many wickets a team won by. They have a cumulative sum of 351 wickets, which indicates they have won the games and saved a lot of wickets, or the batting order was very strong. So now we are nearing the end of our analysis. So let's have a look at players that have won the most number of player of the match awards. You can see Chris Gale has won the most number of player of the match awards. He won 21 times, closely followed by AB de Villiers, who has won 20 times. Now let's compare the top run scorers and wicket takers from each season. In 2008, the highest run scorer was Sean Marsh, scoring 616 runs. Whereas in 2019, the highest run scorer was David Warner with a total of 727 runs. And in 2016, Virat Kohli scored a massive 973 runs, whereas David Warner here scored the highest runs in 3 seasons. While the highest wicket taker in 2008 was Sohail Tanvir with 22 wickets, and in 2008 it was Imran Tahir. Dwayne Bravo impressing everyone with his 32 dismissals of players in 2013 and has been the highest wicket taker twice, sharing that with Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, who was the highest wicket taker in 2016 and 2017. Now, in the IPL, high scoring partnerships aren't just runs on the scoreboard, they are the winning formula. So let's check the best partnerships. Chris Gill and Virat Kohli here have the highest partnership run, totaling to 1,508 and a strike rate of 149.9, followed by AB de Villiers as striker and Virat Kohli as non-striker, and followed by Virat Kohli as striker and AB de Villiers as non-striker. The last section of the analysis shows the winner from each season. In 2008, as we saw, the statistics for Rajasthan Royals were impressive, and they indeed were the winners. Mumbai Indians have won the IPL 4 times. So 2013, 2015, 2017, and 2019, which is more than any other team. This shows why they were on top in every positive section of the analysis. Here, we can even recommend that RCB needs to be more consistent in the later stages of the tournament, as they have rivaled Mumbai Indians in many top section of the analysis. They do boast a similar kind of trophy. They do not boast a similar kind of trophy count as compared to Mumbai. Now let's have a look at the player recommendations. Brands looking for sustainable support must go for Virat Kohli, as he's involved in top 3 partnerships. Brands looking for getting the results, consistency, and reliability should opt for Mumbai Indians, as they have won the IPL more than any other team till 2019. Brands looking for evergreen, everlasting players should go with MS Dhoni. Also, brands looking for a leader who can lead by example must go with MS Dhoni. Thank you guys for joining me in this analysis. I hope you enjoyed it.